then I'm going to step aside and let the discussion flow as organically as it can. Come on up. So this is an experiment. There was a request that we have some time where we can see how this works. And so I will play the host, and I'll just ask, what system are you representing?
I think the two of us are representing Globfish. There's our third developer. Well, there's a few more developers here.
So I represent Mosaic, so you are same representation.
So we're representing Globfish. No, Caddis.
NPC.
No.
That's better. You asked for it. Yes. I represent a system called CATS, which is perhaps the least common. All here, but it's also have quite a history.
And I guess we can just expedite this by doing a show of hands. Is your system currently being used to control a live contact?
I mean, like now?
No, not now.
Actually, mine is
Is your server in production?
Yes, yes.
I don't see.
At the regional level?
What's regional? You mean
For a competition that was defined with the country world has your system ever been used at the world? Woohoo! And Casey's card says yes.
Yes.
Is your system open source?
No.
So we've got three good open source candidates that we can collaborate with. And so now I'll throw the next question out to you. What things would you like to know about these systems, how they're used, how they solve particular problems? Do they do port bombs? Do you think open source have this?
No.
Actually, it's possible myself no question.
Sure.
Of course, no. Now, I would answer that, and I already asked it today, but I would like to know answer from other participants because it seems a recurring thing lately to use cloud computing or virtual machines like computation to evaluate the
We're not using virtual machines in the
because there was a presentation you go by some maybe representation to state that all solutions are just on the virtual machines. That was not that's actually a good thing.
I don't want to say that IBM said something that was wrong ever, but we're not running
But anyway, but I felt that today that at least there is a plan, yes. So how is it, do you have any idea how to solve the problem of equalize the processing power? Because this was actually a hot topic about 5 or 7 years ago in Russia. Every strong Russian software people use the system in St. Petersburg, Moscow developers, they all try to use virtual machines and some kind of software distribution system. They all fail. I myself decided to, I failed too, because even if they have 2 virtual machines on absolutely equal hardware, local control, we still get 10 to 15% difference of operation time. Rather than so it seems it's short.
That's huge, I would say. I mean, so last year we compared with so we were running as a shadow system last year at the World Final. So we compared with Caddis. I think internally fluctuations were on the order of 1 or 2 or 3% at most. We've seen a few cases actually where a team would have a time limit at Catalyst and pass in our system.
Yes.
And then the difference was marginal. And I mean, I guess we had a slightly different security solution, which is a little bit faster. So this is
So
something
what did you do? Did you use some kind of, what platform did you use? I didn't have that.
well, we have the same computers, same methods that they used, same methods, same software. And we used a different system. We used or they used Catalyst. We were using the same solution.
But why was the same and no virtual environment? I know.
But doing work, I mean, modern virtual machines on exact same hardware, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I would say would be really hard. We tried. Now, I would say it would probably work. But if you're talking about actually clouding it, you know, that's going to be very, very hard. I don't think that'll work.
But I don't think it's reasonable to expect that we can like. There's always going to be a margin of error, and you can make it small. You can't.
If you are assuming that people can use different programming languages, you already have the kind of problem. But that's kind of their hope. They choose programming language, and if they choose Python, because well, they know what they do. Or if they don't, then they don't develop time.
But I think you can't really you cannot try. I mean, we should just accept that the fact that you cannot solve precisely a time limit boundary. There's always going to be some.
Yes, of course. For example, 3 or 2%, of course, really accept. But experiments show at least 10 and
I'm really amazed by this.
We have also seen pretty bad numbers with you know, actual cloud computing.
Okay.
And
that's
you know, I would definitely not do, you know, putting out in the Amazon cloud or something like that. That you will not get good results.
Okay.
We have tested running, you know, virtualized Catalyst on the same hardware, and I would say that works fine. I mean, I agree with you that the difference is not big, especially. I mean, actually, it was a fairly good improvement in the past like 2 or 3 years.
I know that concepts developers, someone commented that using Battleground to count instructions.
Yes, this was one idea.
So that seems to sort
Yes,
of.
but we would have to, for example, limit programming language choices to, for example, languages which run on JVM. Actually, we did try such contributions. Of course, it's not ACPC by 5 special format. But, for example, we all Java, Scala, Clojure, and maybe some others, and maybe remember. Every year that we can exactly count as functions and it's the same. But it's, of course, very specific.
Well, no, I think they were using Battleground, which.
Yeah, the Valgrind is really slow.
Yeah,
Yes,
they were 20 times slower than I thought.
Yeah.
That seems like a solution.
Well, but if you can do 20 times, if 20 times slower is okay, I mean, then you can do statistical solutions as well. I mean, we need algorithm to do with all of them. So, I don't see that solution very interesting. But it might be.
Yes, we can, if we can spend 20 times processing power, if we have a large power, then we can run each problem, each solution 20 times, and calculate some capability and so on.
Anyway, from my point of view, I'm not only interested in conflict, I'm also interested in classes, and there are probably different.
Yes, of course.
But I still want to
Actually, Catalyst background is similar. Catalyst was originally an educational system, and so we have similar interests there. We care about that. But you know, in Sweden, at least, universities are governmental, and any kind of grading is a government decision, strictly speaking. So repeatability and correctness is important. So I don't really see that it's less important to do it correctly in educational setting. I know what you mean, though.
It's not the question of correct. I understand now.
Yes, I agree.
Whatever your is that point. If you are going to set a limit and you want to be sure that it goes beyond that limit, and this can be the decision of
together. But I absolutely know what you're saying, and I agree. Though for this particular discussion, we are talking about contests.
Yeah,
Well,
and then time is
a
important.
kind of both of them.
Right.
Any other questions?
This year you enabled C++ 11 for final. Were there any issues with this? I mean, does it need any additional things compared to old standard?
Oh, okay. Is the question, was there any issues adding C++ 11?
Yeah.
No. And why would there?
Well, we don't know, we experimented a bit with this, and at this moment we don't know what was the problem, but it turns out that new standard library sometimes needs more address space than it actually uses. So limiting memory by limiting address space
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Okay. We have not run into that problem. How low limits do you use?
It's definitely the case with the library of GCC for 8, maybe for 7.3 also, but only then. Before that wasn't a problem. And just using the program which has simple vectors or sets from STL, and I don't know, keeps about a megabyte or 2 of data. The memory usage, if you count used memory pages, is at 1 megabyte or 2, and the address space used is about half a gig.
So the memory
So it's huge. The difference is
So the memory allocated is very aggressive, basically. Yes.
allocated but not touched, just the address space.
Yes, I can see why it's done, but
It's allocated.
but it is some kind of it depends on the runtime of sandbox software. Because as I remember, I am sure that at least the sandbox which they develop can you basically can control separately each kind of memory. So it would be a configuration problem in our case, but I don't know about other sandboxes.
How did it grow from there?
Sorry?
Was that half a gigabyte, did it increase significantly as you increase the actual memory used?
No. Maybe if you reach something higher, it will.
Anyway, it's also submitted back to the project separately from the issue of programming efficiency. Can be a problem in some industrial yeah, actually, the feature of C++ 11 can cause problems, but also can, for example, in our test, closer implementations, the only using GCC is it's not terribly slow, but it can cause 2, 3, 4 times slowdown in some natural cases. If you write standard solutions, say, oh, I will say if you write the code, I will write closure. There are some not optimize the problem.
It is a matter of opinion if that is a problem. I mean, some language has something that is slow.
Of course,
It's not a problem.
high-level things should know that as it's kind of problem which are
Another question related to sandboxing. I know it's not the case with the ICPC contest, but we are also using our system for different classes. And when you allow programs that can use multiple threads, do you have any experience with enforcing resource usage limits in that case?
Yes, that works. It works fine, but when you have shared memory between threads, it's sometimes overcounts just a little bit.
Is
but
it just a little bit? Because
well,
you
okay,
get some
actually,
trouble
you know,
using
if you really try, it can be quite terrible. You're right, but then you're kind of screwing up for yourself. right? Because if you have a lot of shared libraries that you put in memory and you all touch them in all the threads, they will count, several times, and that would be terrible.
And which mechanism do you use for counting?
Sorry?
Which-
We use Linux namespaces and
Control
groups, right? Which, in my opinion, that's what you're going to use too, right?
Yeah, we actually just switch to it.
Right.
So it's not optional in our.
Right, but Delmiers can have it soon. In my opinion, that's the only way to do it. That's the correct way to do it. And I don't know what the other reasons you have, but
We are actually primarily Windows based, so we use
Oh.
Windows jobs, which are kind of similar to
Right.
But also the more important point is that current, at least the ACPC rules are constructed in such a way that multi-threading can never help you in your solution. So,
Where in the
this
rules-
is
where in the rules would that be?
Where in the rules does it?
That's definitely not the case.
Because the time is computed, the time for all threads is summed up. So it can never
That
lose.
doesn't say so.
So it's actually not true. Time is not summed up.
I didn't
Lots
say
and
that.
lots of time.
I think the rules don't say it.
No, the rules don't say that the
It's a bug in the rules.
Oh, yes, there are several bugs in those.
Probably mix up with our application rules,
Yes,
which
that's-
are quite clear on this position because it's very important.
Oh, yes.
The hard point, it is never beneficial to use multi-threading. Using multi-threading is wrong. I mean, in context of ICPC. So whatever you do with multi-threading, which causes others problem, is so overshadowed by this primary principle. So basically this solves the multi-threading.
Multi-threading. I mean, I remember back in Stockholm we had on the World Finals 2009 we had one solution for a problem. There was I don't remember the problem. What was this problem? It was you could almost solve it approximately and often or something like that. And so the team did a simple solution where they forked off a timer and then they tried to solve it and they kind of the timer just kind of kicked the other thread saying, hey, you gotta produce an answer now because we're running out of time. And then it did, and that solved it in the end. And I think that's, it solved the problem. I don't remember what the judgment was because I think the judges consider threading to be illegal still. Which I was the judge. Really? I was the director. We were actually was that like the first time we met? Yeah, I was screaming at him. I had a point when I started.
It can be useful.
Right, it can be useful. Threading can be useful, even if it's counted. Because I would argue that is a reasonable way to solve an interesting problem sometimes, right?
You can do it in a single thread.
Sure, but easier,
It's
more
actually-
beautiful doing it
in
that way.
our region, it's actually standard.
Right.
It doesn't use the second thread, except in Java, perhaps not Java.
Well, Java is another thing then, because
Yes.
how do you not
Yes,
use
yes.
multiple threads?
Yes, of course. The point is, in our region, it is a principle that judges should never ever make a decision based on source code. So everything is decided beforehand, and for stats, they all decide decisions. Okay, you can.
That's a
use
very
that,
good
but-
principle. Yeah.
So,
I don't think we answered the question, but we did answer something.
there is a small point that if we consider other competitions with other rules which exist, then of course there could be competitions specifically designed to encourage multi-threaded solutions. And we do have such competitions. But it's different from us.
Right, but your system does allow multi-threading with no problem, right? And ours
The
does.
problem is
Yours does.
system is
So it's just a competition question.
basically yes. A short answer is it's actually configurable with.
All right.
Just do your, so like I said, in our case, we do kind of negate the fork by only allowing, I think, 10 or 15 threads. So you can't just spawn an unlimited amount of threads in our system.
But will the fork won't fail anyway due to either time or
then the whole system will kind of grind to a halt. So for that reason, we kind of
Does it differentiate between programming languages?
no. Oh no, that's one big thing.
One part of it, the sandbox and the part of Java is for a lot, even for compiling. And if you are, you know, setting 6 seconds code, you can do zero. So if you want to be strict as you are, and in general, we do that. We do 0 parts or 60 parts. Well, so in practice, we are saying if you are using system for 0,
So you're implementing this to get like
the point being that you need Java to you need to allow Java to work, otherwise it won't even run.
of course, but
We just get
every language the same amount of restrictions. So yeah, allows for and also see.
And I actually think that's a very good argument for allowing forking. Because Java
I mean,
needs to run,
it's
so let's
something
everybody.
it's something you can control.
Right, yes.
If you decided that since you are giving a certain amount of work to Java, then you will give to the other programming language, that's fine. That's but the decision that the person configuring the system will have to make. You know,
Once again, we kind of slid into
your own policy.
competition policy rather than
Yeah.
control system. It seems like
I mean, the point being whether what kind of policy your system does allow. Right?
Do you have any other questions?
What I wanted to suggest is actually we brought a live running demo over system. So that was actually what we tried to suggest. I don't know if the other people did bring the same, but if people are interested in actually having a look at it, then you're welcome to.
Well, let's go ahead and dismiss. If you have the hour is late and you're tired, this is your opportunity to leave. If you would like to come on down and ask individual questions, then I encourage you to stay. There's a case of water here.
We can move the discussion to the fourth floor, where a cultural exchange is happening.
Exactly.